You have heard the jokes: someone spills coffee, they sue, they get rich. It sounds absurd, doesn't it? A classic tale of American excess. Or so many people believe. But what if the joke isn't funny? What if the laughter hides a deep, painful truth, a truth that was twisted, distorted, and buried? This story is about more than just coffee. It is about a real person. Her name was Stella Liebeck. She became a symbol, a punchline, but she was a grandmother, a community member. Her life was irrevocably altered by a simple cup of coffee. The narrative that captured public attention was a caricature. It was a cruel simplification of a tragic event. Many people still believe the myth. They think of it as a frivolous lawsuit. They see it as an example of a broken legal system, someone looking for an easy payday. This perception was carefully crafted. It served a specific agenda. It obscured the shocking reality of what happened. The myth was simple, it was powerful. It spread like wildfire. A woman bought coffee, she spilled it on herself while driving. Then, she sued McDonald's for millions. She was greedy, she was opportunistic. The lawsuit was a joke. This was the story everyone knew. It painted Stella Liebeck as a villain, someone gaming the system. The coffee was just hot, they said. Like all coffee is hot. What did she expect? People scoffed at the idea. They rolled their eyes at the legal system. This version of events was easy to digest. It fit neatly into a narrative of lawsuit abuse. It made for great water cooler talk and late-night television monologues. The public largely accepted this distorted version. They saw it as a clear case of someone overreacting. A minor inconvenience turned into a major payday. The media played a significant role in this. Sensational headlines focused on the large sums of money. They rarely focused on the actual harm done or the reasons behind the jury's decision. The truth begins on a cold February morning, February 27, 1992, in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Stella Liebeck was 79 years old. She was not a wealthy woman looking for an easy score. She was a grandmother, a retired department store clerk. She was in a car with her grandson, Chris. They had just been to the airport. Chris was driving, Stella was the passenger. A detail often lost in the retelling. They decided to get coffee. They went through the McDonald's drive-thru. Stella ordered a 49-cent cup of coffee. Her grandson parked the car. He stopped so Stella could add cream and sugar. This is a normal, everyday action. Something millions of people do. She needed to remove the lid. The car had no cup holders. It was a Ford Probe, a small car. Stella placed the styrofoam cup between her knees. She tried to pull the lid off. As she did, the cup tipped over. The entire contents spilled onto her lap, onto her cotton sweatpants. This was no minor spill. This was the beginning of an agonizing ordeal. Stella Liebeck suffered horrific injuries. This is the part of the story often minimized, or completely ignored by the critics. The coffee caused third-degree burns. These are the most severe type of burn. They destroy all layers of the skin. They can damage underlying tissues, muscles, and even bone. Stella's burns covered 6% of her body, mainly on her inner thighs, groin, and buttocks. She was rushed to the hospital. The pain was excruciating. Doctors described her burns as comparable to fire. She required extensive medical treatment. This included multiple skin graft surgeries. Skin had to be taken from other parts of her body, then grafted onto the burned areas. These procedures are incredibly painful. The recovery process is long and arduous. Stella spent 8 days in the hospital. She endured debridement, the removal of dead skin, a process known for its extreme discomfort. Even after leaving the hospital, her ordeal continued. She needed care for 2 more years. Her daughter had to take time off work to look after her mother. Stella lost a significant amount of weight. She was nearly 80 pounds after the incident. The burns left her with permanent scarring. She was partially disabled for years. Section 5. A plea for responsibility, the road to the courtroom. Stella Liebeck did not initially want to sue McDonald's. Her first request was simple and reasonable. She asked McDonald's to cover her medical expenses. These amounted to about $10,500 in actual costs, and her anticipated future medical bills around $2,500. She also lost income as her daughter cared for her. Her total request was around $20,000. She also suggested something else. She asked McDonald's to re-examine their coffee temperature policies to prevent others from suffering similar injuries. McDonald's response was dismissive. They offered Stella only $800. This amount did not even begin to cover her medical bills. It was a clear indication. They were not taking her injuries seriously, or their potential responsibility. This refusal to acknowledge the severity or their role, forced Stella to seek legal help. She was not looking for a lottery win, she was looking for basic fairness. Her lawyers investigated further. What they discovered was shocking. McDonald's knew their coffee was dangerously hot. They had a corporate policy to serve coffee at 180 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit. At this temperature, liquid can cause third-degree burns in as little as 2 to 7 seconds. Home-brewed coffee is typically much cooler, around 135 to 140 degrees. McDonald's claimed customers wanted it this hot, so it would still be warm after their commute. Even more damning was the history. Section 6. The Scales of Justice. Evidence, negligence, and a verdict. The case finally went to trial in August of 1994. It was not a quick money grab, it was a serious legal proceeding. The jury heard all the evidence. They saw photographs of Stella's burns. These images were graphic and disturbing. They showed the true extent of her suffering. The jury learned about McDonald's coffee temperature policies and their history of prior burn complaints. This was crucial information. Testimony revealed McDonald's own quality assurance manager admitted their coffee was a hazard if spilled. He acknowledged the 700 prior burn claims and conceded that this number was not insignificant. McDonald's argued that customers knew coffee was hot. They also argued Stella was to blame for spilling it. However, the extreme temperature was the key issue, a temperature far hotter than coffee served at home or by many other restaurants. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. They found McDonald's actions constituted willful disregard. Section 7. The Media Distortion, Crafting a Villain from a Victim. The jury's verdict was complex, but the media narrative was not. Headlines screamed about the $2.7 million, woman wins millions for coffee spill. This figure, taken out of context, sounded outrageous. It fueled public ridicule and disbelief. Few reports detailed Stella's severe injuries. Few explained McDonald's prior knowledge of the danger or the reasoning behind the punitive damages. The full story was lost in the sound bites. Stella Liebeck was transformed overnight from an elderly victim of corporate negligence to a symbol of lawsuit abuse. Late-night comedians had a field day. Talk radio hosts condemned her. She became the butt of countless jokes. This portrayal was incredibly damaging. Section 8. The Aftermath, Lasting Scars, and a Misused Legacy. The trial judge, Judge Robert H. Scott, called McDonald's conduct reckless, callous, and willful. He upheld the jury's finding of liability. However, he reduced the punitive damages from $2.7 million down to $480,000. This brought the total award to $640,000. Eventually, Stella Liebeck and McDonald's settled out of court. They agreed to a confidential amount believed to be less than $500,000. This was far from the multi-million-dollar windfall that the media sensationalized. For Stella, the ordeal did not end with the settlement. She had to live with permanent scars and the physical limitations caused by her injuries. She also had to endure the public ridicule, the label of being the coffee lady, the woman who won the jackpot. This was deeply unfair and hurtful. She had sought accountability and safety improvements, not fame or fortune through infamy. Her health continued to decline in the years following. She passed away in 2004 at the age of 91. The Liebeck case had a profound impact on legal discourse. It became the poster child for the tort reform movement. Advocates for limiting lawsuits used her story relentlessly. Section 9. Beyond the Punchline, Understanding the Human Cost. The McDonald's coffee lawsuit is more than a legal case. It is a story about human suffering, it is a story about corporate responsibility, and it is a story about media influence. Stella Liebeck was not a greedy opportunist. She was an elderly woman who suffered terrible, preventable injuries. She asked for fairness and received ridicule. Her experience highlights a critical lesson. We must look beyond the easy punchline. Viral stories, especially sensational ones, often lack crucial context. They are simplified for quick consumption. Complex issues are reduced to black and white. Nuance is lost. Empathy is eroded. The Liebeck case shows how this can happen. How a narrative can be shaped to serve interests other than the truth. The shocking truth was not the lawsuit. It was the severity of the burns and the company's prior knowledge of the danger.